Good morning everyone, let me give you the quick summary of the first part of this video series about building the Gersika knife. Part 1 was mostly about me complaining about grinding titanium and me being happy about finally being able to use the mill again. So I decided to do something about it and I bought an upgrade for my bandsaw. So I went to aliexpress.com and bought for $13 a bandsaw blade. And it has 18 tooth per inches, so it should be able to cut titanium. And I just tried it. Let me show you. It works perfectly. So this video, me not complaining about grinding titanium, and also making and finishing the Gersika knife. I got a tip to start tapping inside my drill press, because now I can align the tap straight apart with my drill press, so not off, and that should prevent breakaging of taps. Okay, so now I'm ready to set the lock, but I'm really nervous about this. Last time I had a feeling I was a bit lucky. The locking mechanism worked fine, but I don't know completely if I've got a methodic down, so I'm just going for it. I've measured it a couple of times and I hope everything will be alright. Okay, so I finished the part. I polished it up a bit. There is a lock bar cut out. This cut is through as well. Even bend it so it flips. Now I have to assemble it with the blade and cut the lock face. I've already ground it. It's almost completely there. So I'm just gonna polish it up very slightly. And then the lock face will be the place where the lock bar will hit the knife, and hopefully have a good lock on it. Okay, so this is the knife now locked, and well, take a look at it. It's almost too early. Knife lock? I'm not sure yet. I think I'm gonna Google this. Good morning. So it's one of those early morning sessions again. Yesterday I was in a bit of a hurry and I was nervous and I wanted to continue and I didn't want to continue, and I was terrified that I would screw it up, which I almost did, but then it ended out that I stopped on just the right moment. So now lockup is very early. Normally I would fix this right away, but I decided to go and fix it after heat treatment. That way I hope I will be able to reduce the residue that you always have some residue from heat treatment, and if you polish Scotch-Brite the lock face afterwards, it will be smoother and it will be better. And if I remove too much material now, then I might get too late lockup later in the stage. So next step for me, finish the contouring and start finishing the entire blade. The last thing I did before I went on holiday was break my pocket clip, and it snapped in two. I went to my old university. They have a brake press for sheet metal. It was very busy. People were trying to build barbecues. Didn't film it. Tried to do it quickly. Bend it too far and then tried to bend it back immediately, and then it snapped off. So it sucks. So we're gonna do that again. Setting the detent, which is something I'm always a bit afraid of. It's a hard step, I guess. But here we have the position where there will be a ball and it will stick out and it will match with a hole in the blade, and it will give some friction and it will close up the blade as well. So it's easier said than done, because I have to drill the hole very precise, match it with the hole on the blade, and then press in a little hard ceramic ball. But we'll start off by drilling the hole. So wish me luck. This is just how small this detent ball is. 1.4 millimeters. That's like super small. I already lost 2 balls just trying to measure it. I don't even know if a drill bit small enough to poke the hole. Yep, detent ball is in. Just hammered it in on my anvil. It sticks out about half the height of the ball, so it should be okay. It should be a softer detent than my skin lock flipper, which has super hard detent, and sometimes you can't even get it open, especially with people who never handled a liner lock before, or frame lock. But I'm happy with this. Next step, moving the blade back and forth so that the detent ball will scratch the marking we just made, and then we know where the stop pin ball will end. Then we can drill the hole, because if you drill it all through, then the detent ball is also exactly in the center of the hole in the blade, and this is not so good, because then there will be no tension, so there will be like blade play like this till the ball touches the end of the hole in the blade. So instead you're doing this, you're marking, you know where it will end, and then you will do a little offset so that the edge of the ball, the curve, will always touch the edge of the hole. So there is always direct tension, no blade play whatsoever. Yep, broke my carbide drill bit. It's annoying. Hopefully there is no carbide in the hole, because then we'll have a very hard time drilling it again. But okay, so I've drilled the hole in the blade as well, and I'm just not completely satisfied with the lockup. You can see it move. I hope you can see it move, but it goes in and out, but just not stiff enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the hole in the blade a little bit bigger. That will mean the ball will fall in just a bit more, and therefore should be a bit of a stiffer lockup. Okay, so I had to drill it from 1.7 millimeters to 2 millimeters, but it's fitting and it's locking up, and it's even like flipping now because it has a detent working. So very pleased with that. There is one thing, and I looked at one of my cheap AliExpress knives to figure it out, but because this lock bar is now flat because the ball is completely inside the hole, but when it goes up it springs like this, and therefore this liner won't fit. So now I have to scallop out material in here, because when the lock bar goes like this, it springs out and it has pockets in here, and these are like the nice jobs you're looking forward to when you're being shouted at your colleagues at your regular work. Just drawing it on, milling some titanium. I've like never ever used mill before just for milling, just for removing some material. It's always drilling or on the rotary table, or it's so yeah, looking forward to it. Okay, so I've been milling. You can see the shiny part is where I remove material, but I'm just not happy with my progress and how it's going. It's very tough. You think you like remove a lot of material and then you measure it. Then in 4 passes you did only 0.5 millimeters, so half a millimeter. So it's really tough material, and I don't know what it is. Is it my depth of cut? Is it my width of cut? Is it that I use AliExpress end mills in HSS steel, not carbide? Because I made a mistake and I ran into my fixture, and there I had like these beautiful chips. And I removed way too much material at once, but there it was all fine, and here it's difficult. So I'm gonna take a lower, well, I'm gonna take a bit deeper cut and then go back and forth, but yeah, I'll just finish it. But if somebody knows the answer how to manual mill titanium, please let me know. So on the left is a close-up of my HSS end mill, which I saw glowing red while milling, and it just wasn't any good. But then I changed to a very small mill I have right here. So it is very close up. It's a 3mm mill, but it has a carbide tip, and it makes such a difference. Now my milling machine is now making a chip. It's holding its rigidity. You can even see these nice tool mark lines, nice and straight. So it was really a bit of difference. So it's not per se the recipe or the depth of cut or the width of cut or the speeds, it's just the cutting tools. The difference between AliExpress carbide and AliExpress HSS steel. Here you can see that it's finally making a chip. It's small, but yeah, it's actually doing something, and I had the idea that it was rubbing with the HSS tool. Here's a close-up of the pocket we just milled. It's very close up because I have my zoom lens on, but yeah, you can actually see milling lines, and they're straight and they're flat, and it's just so much better. Okay, so now that the blade is locking up completely, it's time for the next step. The customer requested a thumb stud, so he's right-handed. So somewhere around here there needs to be like a thing you can push against to open the blade, secondary next to the flipper. There we have it, a hole for thumb stud. Nope, happy with that. Just a matter of don't overcomplicate it like I did last time. Okay, so the pocket clip is installed. It's working really nice, and I finally got the complete knife assembled. So it's ready for heat treatment. I actually got the washers in as well. It flips really nice actually. I was a bit afraid that it would suck, but it's okay, I guess. And so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I'll hope to be back in 2 or 3 weeks. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.